Hey there, it's Crystal Lopez here from crystalandcomp.com, and today I'm going to show you how to take some pork chops that we scored on sale at H-E-B, some sweet potatoes that we're going to put into the Instant Pot, and some leftover veggies that are in the fridge, and we're just going to throw it all together and make this delicious dinner, and we're barely even going to heat up the kitchen. It's so good, and it's not chicken. My kids are like, chicken upon more chicken. All right. I'm going to use this lemon pepper seasoning that I get at Sam's, and actually there's just a little bit left in that container, and we're going to get it poured into the other container so that we can make more room in the pantry. While I'm getting these pork chops on the grill, I've got Cousin Christian is still in town when we were recording this. He's gone home now, but this is from a couple weeks ago, and he and Jack are working together to unload the dishwasher, and I think Luke Henry's tidying up the living room. Like, everybody's got their jobs and the things that they're doing. Matthew might be vacuuming, I'm not sure. Those are usually the tasks that each person has going on. It's just, it's towards the end of the day. I want to get everything just kind of in order. I am going to put these pork chops out on the grill. You can use whatever seasoning you have, but we really like the lemon pepper, and Cousin Christian requested the lemon pepper, so here we are. All right, and then sweet potatoes. Did you know that you can do those in the Instant Pot? Yes, you can. So you need to make sure that you have at least a cup of liquid in there, and then you're going to cook it, depending on how big your potatoes are and how many you have, you're going to cook them for 30 to 40 minutes. Literally just push go and let it sit, and then that's it. It is so easy to cook sweet potatoes or regular potatoes in your Instant Pot. Now, you can take your knife and kind of cut little slits in the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, or if you're doing russets, either one. It does kind of help them, help the heat get through them, they say. I don't know. I've not really noticed a difference. This particular time, I did not put any cuts in the potatoes. I know I said this, you're going to add liquid, but you must always cook with at least 1 cup of water in your Instant Pot. All right. And I did put the little insert in there that it's like a trivet that holds the potatoes up off of the water a little bit. It's got little feet on it. It came with my Instant Pot. All right. Now, while dinner's on the grill and the potatoes are going in the Instant Pot, we are going to clean out the fridge with the vegetables that we need to get rid of. So I've got half of an onion left over. I've got like a third of a bag of broccoli that needs to be used up. I've got some of those little sweet peppers that need to be used up. I've got some mushrooms, and I've got a couple of zucchinis. And one of the best ways to use up veggies so that they don't go to waste, and if you're like, I only have this much, it's not enough to feed the whole family, but I want to use it up, I got a little of this and a little of that, put it on a sheet pan. This is what I love doing with vegetables. Number one, because my family eats them like this with no problem. Like, there's no complaints. Everybody's happy. But also, cooking them this way is a great way to get rid of all the little tidbits of vegetables. Like, look at that. That's not enough broccoli for everybody. But when we pair it with all of the other odds and ends, it is going to make a nice little side dish. So I've cut up half of an onion. I've added that broccoli. I did pick out a few pieces of broccoli that were looking like they were not doing so great. We've got this handful of peppers that I'm just going to cut the top part off and the stem, and then slice these up and throw them on the sheet pan. And then I have some mushrooms that I'm going to grab. 4 mushrooms. What else are you going to do with 4 mushrooms? Well, 5 mushrooms. Well, we can use it on our sheet pan, and we're just going to spread it all out evenly. I do recommend that you use parchment paper on your sheet pan, because we're going to drizzle some olive oil on this and put some seasonings on it. And if you use parchment paper, 9 times out of 10, you really don't even have to do much to clean it up. You throw the parchment paper away and just kind of run it over some soapy water if you need to. It makes cleanup so much easier. Evenly distribute your veggies. That's it. I've got these 2 zucchinis that I need to use up before they go bad, and I'm just going to cut them into little coin-sized pieces and throw them on there as well. I mean, so easy. If I had one zucchini and one squash, that's fine. Like, what do you have in your fridge? Just toss it all on there. And then if you have leftover veggies left after this, like whatever is cooked on the sheet pan that's still left over, save it. And at the end of the week, make a stir fry. Use up any leftover chicken and use up any leftover veggies. That's literally what we did a few nights after this with the leftover veggies and pork. Okay, so we're going to drizzle some olive oil on this, just a nice drizzle. We're not trying to drench it. We don't want them floating in it. And then this Montreal seasoning is my go-to. It is so incredibly flavorful. It's great on steaks, but it's also my go-to for my vegetables. And then if you want to kind of stir it up like that, you can. Be careful with that Montreal seasoning because it is heavy on the salt. It's fine as long as you don't overdo it, right? Like, you don't want to go in there just dumping it on there. It'll make everything super salty. A little bit goes a very long way. All right, then I've got this loaf of dollar bread from H-E-B. Can you believe that is $1? $1. So amazing. I'm going to get another sheet pan, put parchment paper on it. I'm just going to cut this open. Sometimes we make garlic bread out of it. For this particular night, I don't have the energy to chop up garlic, and I just want something simple. So I'm going to take a stick of butter and melt it in the microwave. And then I'm going to season it with some garlic seasoning salt. And then I'm going to brush the butter over the bread and put it in the oven and just kind of let it crisp up a little bit. Done. So easy and so flavorful. And that bread was $1. $1. That's it. And it doesn't take long for it to crisp up in the oven. It's really fast and simple. I think I put it at about 400. There's our pork chops. Okay, guys, I'm really bad about let's keep cooking it to make sure it's done. Everyone in my house knows that. But I check it with a thermometer to make sure that it is the right temperature. And then I'm going to cover it in foil so that the heat stays in while we're waiting for the potatoes to finish and the vegetables and the bread to finish. Once the Instant Pot goes off, you can release the steam, and it's going to take probably 2 to 3 minutes for all that steam to release, and then your lid will come off. Seriously, the Instant Pot is so easy to use. And there you have it. Here's all of our dinner. There's the bread done. There's the veggies done. They were so good. And those pork chops go a long way. And like I said, what was left over, we saved it and the vegetables, and we used it as part of our stir fry. So just kind of like clean out your fridge of any leftover proteins, any leftover vegetables, and you can use them to make an amazing stir fry. All right. So I'm making some plates. Sometimes I make everybody's plates, not all the time. It's very rare that I make everybody's plates, but I'm happy to do it. Listen, I just want everybody to come have dinner at the table, and if it means making everybody's plate, then now there are times where I'm like, I'm not making plates tonight. Come on, guys, y'all, I'm sitting down to eat. I'm starving. But usually I will at least make the 2 little kids' plates. But there you go. Those pork chops. 1 pork chop would feed 2 people. They were so thick. And then there's the veggies. There is our sweet potato. Oh my goodness, we love sweet potatoes. Put a little bit of butter and a little bit of cinnamon. Incredible. If you wanted to, you could even add a little bit of some brown sugar if you wanted to. But I mean, then it's kind of like a dessert, but it's really delicious. All right, a little bit of bread. All of that was so good together. This was so easy. Dinner done so fast, and really the only thing that heated up my kitchen were those veggies, and the bread was cooking at the same time with the veggies towards the end. Everything else was done in a way that didn't heat up the kitchen at all. So think outside the box. How can you utilize the different tools that are in your kitchen so that dinner can be done all at one time and without, utilizing tools that keep you from having to babysit while you're cooking and allow you to get other things done, and then everything's done all at the same time, and then your house is not heated up from, the kitchen can become like a heat box sometimes. Yes, we have air conditioning, but it's summer in Texas. It gets hot here. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I got. This was a delicious, delicious dinner. This is also something where I keep the meat covered in foil, and those potatoes will stay in the Instant Pot on warm. I'll cover the veggies, and that way, as you know, say one teenager is getting home from work about 20 minutes after we start eating, everything is still warm and covered and it's keeping the heat in. If my husband's coming in a little bit later, obviously I don't leave it sitting there for an hour. We're going to put it in the fridge at that point, but just kind of cover it in foil so that it stays, so that the temperature stays warm. That's what I do. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let me know, what are the things that are on your meal plan? What are you feeding your family? Give me some of your tips and tricks. I want to try them. And what's your favorite way to make pork chops? Do you do it on the grill? And what seasoning do you use? I would love to know. All right, y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.